There we go. How's it going, everybody? First time going live in quite a while. I don't even remember the last time I went live on this channel, but I figured, since it's been 3 days, 4 days since I uploaded a video, I would go live today, hang out for like an hour, and then I'll have something out for you guys tomorrow. Um, Hope you guys are having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun with your family and friends and or whatever you guys do. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun today. Real quick, I did want to just send my thoughts and prayers to the people in Uval who lost loved ones. I just wanted to mention that real quick. I think it was on Tuesday. So, yeah, I just wanted to send my thoughts and prayers and take a moment to mention that before we really get into it. But, you guys are going to be moving the stream. Whatever you guys bring up, we'll talk about. We can talk about the Colts and we could talk about whatever else you guys want. So, yeah, as long as it's not political or anything that's going to get a lot of people arguing, we can definitely talk about it. How's it going, Justin? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. And what's up, Seth Jenkins? Hope you're having a good day as well. Um, but and then yeah, I agree. I'm so excited. Obviously, you got Matt Ryan here. Stephon Gilmore. I mean, there's just so many really good players that are coming in. I'm excited. I can't wait. I think the Colts are going to have a really good year this year. I'm not going to say Super Bowl. I don't want to, get carried away quite yet, but I do think we're going to be competitive, and I think we're going to definitely compete in the playoffs. And I think we might be able to move on to the divisional round or AFC Championship this year. Um, as long as everything goes together like we think it's going to, I'm really excited. I can't wait. But yeah, um, you know, I guess I could talk about a couple of things real quick, a couple of announcements really, really quick. So first off, I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to try to start going live a lot more often. I'm going to try to make it a weekly thing, Saturdays, Sundays, somewhere, you know, in that area. I think I'm going to go live. So there's going to be that. Um, when the season starts, I always help bring the juice with their pregame streams. I'm still going to do that, but I think before those streams begin, like an hour before, we're going to do a quick little pregame stream over here just to get everybody, wake up and, kind of get everybody's juices flowing before we get into that stream. And then the last thing, I believe, or not July, June 25th, we're going to be having a charity stream for Kicking the Stigma. I'll have a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, whatever one I decide to use. I'll have that set up. And then at the end of the stream, we're going to donate everything that was funded by everybody that watches the stream. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll just hang out. I'll try to get some people on that stream. We'll go for a few hours for that one. We'll make it a big old stream. So yeah, I just wanted to get into that and then get the stream going. Justin says, I'm really struggling to find a hole on this team. I agree. Um, I look, I mean, the team's loaded. You got a lot of Pro Bowlers on this team. Obviously, you upgraded in the quarterback position, you upgraded with the pass rush. And honestly, I think Kwity Paye is going to have a really good year too. Even if we didn't add Yannick, I think Kwity Paye was going to have a big year this year. So pass rush is looking good. Our secondary should be good. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to, I don't know, maybe some depth pieces, although I think we have really good depth. But Seth Jenkins says Julio or TY. I'm all TY, if I'm going to be honest. Both do have some injury concerns, obviously. They both had, the last few years, they had some trouble staying healthy. But I just prefer TY, he's in the system. He knows how everything goes. I know Matt Ryan, Julio, probably should turn off my ringer. Matt Ryan, Julio, they obviously have some chemistry, but I don't really buy into the chemistry as much as some other people when it comes to quarterback and receiver. I think Matt Ryan will. I think he'll do really well with either one of them, but I prefer Ty. And maybe it's just me wanting him to finish his career in Indy, but if I had to choose, probably Ty. But I wouldn't be upset if we got both or either one of them. And then Colts Blood says thoughts on Hines going to wide receiver. Yeah, I think it would be a good move to have him play some receiver. I mean, 2 years ago he led the team in catches, so and I maybe yards if I'm not mistaken. Um, so I mean, I would at least give it a shot, see what he wants to do, see if he wants to just play receiver, or maybe if he wants to do like a Debo Samuel type of role. But yeah, I'd be cool with that. And then Colts Blood also says thoughts on the new show Obi-Wan. I love it. Star Wars is probably my second biggest passion. Colts obviously number one, but number two is definitely Star Wars. Yeah, I absolutely love the first couple episodes. It really brings you back to that prequel era type feel, a little darker. You can kind of tell the OG feels bleeding into the prequel era, I guess is the best way to describe it. But I think Ewan McGregor is great as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think how episode 2 ends without spoiling it, just in case some people haven't seen it yet, that watch the stream later or who are in here right now. It really gets me excited for what's coming up. So I'm really excited. I can't wait for it. Wait for episode 3. I really do love it, especially episode 1. Episode 1 was probably the best Disney Plus episode that they've done. Justin also says, who do you think will be the day one starter at left tackle and right guard? I think it's going to be Danny Pinter at right guard, and I think it's going to be Matt Pryor at left tackle, day one. I think once we get to like week 3 or week 4, I think we're going to see Bernard Ryman take over at left tackle. And then really it's kind of a coin toss as far as who you want at right guard between Danny Pinter and Matt Pryor. But if Danny Pinter does a really good job the first couple weeks until Ryman goes in there and starts at left tackle, you might as well keep Danny Pinter at right guard and, you know, have Matt Pryor kind of be that guy that kind of fills in wherever you need him to. So that's how I'm feeling right now. Um, Seth Jenkins says, "Who do you think will be the most productive on offense or defense this year?" Um, so offensively, I think the easy answer is Jonathan Taylor, but I'll also go Michael Pittman. I'll have Michael Pittman as another answer too on the offensive side of things. I think he is going to have a really big year on the offensive side of the ball because of Matt Ryan. I think Matt Ryan's going to love just what Michael Pittman brings. So I would go Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, easy answer. Defense, Leonard's an easy answer, obviously. I'll go Kwity Paye. I think Kwity Paye is going to have. I think he's going to have the most productive year because I think Yannick is going to have a lot of attention drawn onto him in the pass game, and I think DeForest Buckner is going to have a lot of attention on him as well. And I think that's going to leave some opportunities for Kwity Paye to get in there. And Kwity Paye, towards the end of the year, really started to get going, and he looked quite good. So I'm expecting big things from Kwity. Colts Blood says, "Is Woods going to outshine Mo?" Um, I think towards the end of the year, but I could see them using him a little bit at the start of the year. It just depends what Frank Reich wants to do with Jelani Woods or Jelani Woods. Does he want to use him right away, or does he want to ease him into the system? I'll still go Mo. If Mo can, catch 90% of the balls thrown to him, I think Mo Ali Cox is gonna have a big year. So I don't think so, but I do think Woods towards the end of the year is gonna start catching up to Mo or passing Mo. And then can you see us signing anyone else, or are we done? Um, I think we're about done. Maybe some smaller signings for the defense, just depth pieces. Um, if they sign anybody offensively, maybe TY. But if they don't bring back TY, I don't see them bringing in Julio or, like Will Fuller or some of the other receivers out there. Maybe OBJ. Maybe they decide to bring in Odell Beckham Jr. if, it gets closer to November and nobody signed him yet. So, yeah, I think we're probably done. Maybe TY gets signed. Maybe OBJ. Depends on if we need somebody like him on the team. And then Justin says chances of Nick Cross becoming a starter or starting strong safety this season. Probably not. Um, maybe next year, but I think Kari Willis is still gonna be the starter. I think he's gonna start throughout the year. I just don't see Nick Cross being the starter unless he just blows everybody away in training camp and just outperforms him. I don't really see that happening though, but I mean maybe. Colts record prediction. So I'm kind of between 12 and 5 and 13 and 4. It really comes down to that Pittsburgh game. If it really comes down to that. I think offensively we definitely can keep up with Pittsburgh because I don't see Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky outscoring Matt Ryan or out throwing Matt Ryan. It's just going to come down to the defense. So, if Pittsburgh's defense is just unbelievable in that game, they're going to win. If it's not, we'll win, and then that will determine if we go 12 and 5 or 13 and 4. Do you think the Colts will still want Ty? I think so. I think Chris Ballard wants Ty. I think it just comes down to the money. I don't think he wants to offer him a ton of money, but I think Ty wants more than what he's being offered right now. So I think they want him. It's just, can they agree on the money? That's what it's going to come down to. And then Lisa Wolf, how you doing? She says, "Do you think Specs is on the hot seat kicking wise?" Yes, I think he is definitely on the hot seat. Really good, the short, medium distance field goals. But once you get to that 50-yard field goal range, that's where he struggles. And they do not want to have a kicker that's going to struggle from that distance. So yeah, he's definitely on a hot seat. He's got to make all his kicks this year. If he struggles, he misses some kicks, and they're like, it's not like they're wide right or wide left. I mean, when he misses them, it's like short. So if he continues to miss them and it's short, then they're going to cut him, I think, and they're going to sign some other kicker or maybe draft one. And then Justin says, "How big of a chance do you think Andrew Ogletree has at making the 53?" Um, I think there's a decent chance. Actually, it depends. Do they want to have 4 tight ends on roster or do they want to have 3? Because I can't see him passing Granson, Mo, or Woods. I can't see that happening at all. So if they think 4 tight ends is a good move, I think he will make it. But if they would prefer to stick with 3, unless there's just an open spot, then they're going to put him on the practice squad, I think. And then Colts Blood says, "Will you be at any Colts games this year?" Yes, I will be at least one. I'm going to try to go to 2. I might go to the Tennessee game. Reason being is we have a graduation. We have a bachelor weekend, me and a couple friends, and it's going to be in Indianapolis, and we're supposed to leave on Sunday. So if we leave around 11, 12 o'clock, I'm going to go to the Colts game. If we leave after, then I'm not going to go. But I'm definitely going to go to at least one for sure. My dad wants to go. We'll probably go to one middle of the season. We kind of thought about the Kansas City game, but I think we're going to go to a different game. So, yeah, that's what I would say. And then Colts Blood also says, "How did you become a Colts fan?" It was my dad. I wasn't the biggest into football when I was like 3, 4 years old. I was just like, let me play my toys, that type of thing. But we went to a high school football game that really got me into football. And then obviously when we watched football in the house, it's going to be the Colts. And, just seeing Peyton Manning out there with, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, it got me really pumped for the team. And that's ultimately what got me in. If I didn't go to any high school football games, I probably wouldn't be interested. Or maybe I would, but not as much as I am now. But yeah, it was really going to a high school football game and actually experiencing it at a game, even though it wasn't like a college game or an NFL game. So it was that's essentially how I got into it. And Colts Blood says, "Who is better?" I don't know. I'm gonna wait see if he puts options, unless I miss it. Oh, Mathis or Freeney? Who's better, Mathis or Freeney? That is tough. Um, both were so good, man. I probably would lean Mathis slightly. Just, I mean, the amount of sacks he got in his entire career, just how dominant he was getting to the quarterback. I mean, Freeney, he was great. Obviously he had that spin move or whatever that he was able to get around the offensive lineman because he was pretty small for a defensive lineman, and that made him really good. And it was just something you didn't really see a lot of defensive linemen doing. But I'm gonna go Robert Mathis. But I mean, honestly, Robert Mathis is probably my fourth favorite player, and I think he's the fourth best player that played for the Colts. Well, no, because you got I the fourth best that played in Indianapolis. I'll say that. And then just says, what is your opinion on Marcel Dabo? I like him a lot. A lot of the tape I saw and the highlights I saw with him overseas, playing playing for Germany, really good, really really good in man coverage. I thought good size. I like him quite a bit. Super athletic, obviously. Um, I don't know how much he's going to play. I do hope he plays some. But yeah, I really do like him, and I can't wait to see what he does in the preseason. I just want to see him play at least in a preseason game, if anything. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Oh, and I should also say, we're gonna be doing 2 charity streams actually. For those who just got here when I was and missed when I talked about it, June 25th, we're doing a stream for Kicking the Stigma. We're going to raise some money. And then at the end of the stream, I'm going to donate what you guys have contributed. And I'm going to contribute money as well to this. And we're going to donate it live at the end of the stream. So that's June 25th. And then I think December 4th. I think that's the bye week. We're going to do one for Not Today as well. The one that Frank Reich and his wife started up. So those are the 2 streams we're going to do. So obviously the one in December, it's going to be a little bit before I have more info, but yeah, I figured I would mention those because those are going to be a lot of fun. And then any undrafted free agents to make the team. I think one will end up making it. I really think it comes down to the quarterback. Is Jack Cohn better than Sam Ehlinger? Can he beat out Sam Ehlinger? And I think he can for sure. If he can beat out Sam Ehlinger, I think Jack Cohn is going to obviously make the team as the number 3 receiver. Maybe I won't say running back because we have like 5. It feels like we have a ton of running backs. I would have to look at the list again and kind of see all the names, but I do think at least one is going to make it, and it's probably going to be Jack Cohn. My dog is trying to break in. What? Hold on. All right, sorry. All right, so it wasn't my dog, but yeah, I do think at least one. I have to really look at the list again. I know I made a video talking about the guys I think that will make the team. I think one actually ended up getting cut, if I'm not mistaken, or waived. And then Lisa says, do you follow other sports? Yes, I follow basketball, obviously college football and college basketball. A little bit of baseball, not really a whole lot in baseball. Kind of soccer, but again, not much, or at least not enough to really know too much. It's mostly, like back. I forgot my mouse. I'll bring it up. Has like the little, there it is. Has the little back button. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, a little bit of soccer, like World Cup. When that happens, I'll follow a lot of that. But I mean, I don't know a whole lot about like the Premier League and stuff. But yeah, mostly basketball is what I follow. Some baseball, hockey if the Blackhawks are doing well. And then Alec Pierce rookie stat prediction. I think Alec Pierce is going to go for, I'll say 525 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's what I'll go with. And I'll say he'll get like around 50 catches. So 50 catches, 525 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. And then Ryan Van DeMark has a good shot to make the team, is what Just says. That was one I was thinking of. I just couldn't remember his name. I know I mentioned him in a video. I think he'll make it, be a depth piece. So I would agree with you there. And then favorite Colts moment. That's tough. Obviously, favorite Colts moment was seeing Peyton hold up the Lombardi. That was pretty cool to watch. Andrew Luck's Superman dive again to the end zone. Just that whole game in general was just awesome. Um, there was the Tampa Bay Colts game from, was it 2004? Colts were down by like 21 points or whatever in the fourth quarter. Battle back one. Um, trying to think. I think Jonathan Taylor scoring pretty much the game sealing touchdown against New England this past season was also one of my favorite moments as well. I mean, just watching at home, you can hear the crowd just, it almost sounded like they were going to break my speakers, just because of how loud they got there. So those are some of my favorite moments, for sure. And then can Paris Campbell stay healthy? I believe he will for a good chunk of the season. I don't think he's going to stay healthy the entire season. I think he's probably going to miss a game or two, but I actually think he's going to stay healthy this year. I think he's going to play a good chunk of the year, and I think he has to. I think if he gets hurt again, then he's out. He's going to be released after, or not released. He just won't be re-signed after this year. So, um, I will say he will stay healthy for, let's say, 15 games. Um, and Colts Blood also says, can the Colts make it to the Super Bowl? I think they can. I don't think they will, but I definitely think they can. I mean, there's not really any weaknesses I can think of. They fixed most of their problems. The receiver position could be a little better, but it just depends. If Paris Campbell stays healthy, I think our receiving core is really good. I do want to see more of Mike Strawn, even though I don't think he's going to be a starter. I would just like to see a little bit more of him this year. Um, I think that could be fun to see him out there. Obviously, I think Michael Pittman's going to have a big year, and I think Alec Pierce can have a good year as well. Um, but yeah, I think they can get to the divisional round, AFC Championship. I think they're going to win the South pretty easily, but it's going to be tough to get to the Super Bowl. But I think they're good enough to where they can compete. So there's that. And then Justin says, do you think both Eric Johnson and Curtis Brooks make the roster with the lack of depth at defensive tackle? Curtis Brooks, I think, definitely makes the roster. Eric Johnson, maybe, but he didn't really. I don't know. He didn't really. Just looking at his numbers, do a whole lot until the end of the year at the bowl game he was in, and the what's the one? It's not the Senior Bowl. It's the other one that he was in. But he participated in the other one that's kind of like the Senior Bowl. Um, so yeah, and he shined there too. They see a lot of potential with him, or else they wouldn't have taken him that early. So maybe, I mean, they have a good shot, especially like you said, with lack of depth at defensive tackle. But I definitely think Curtis Brooks is going to make it. I'm kind of surprised he actually fell that low. And then Colts Blood says, "What inspired you to do YouTube?" A lot of things. Let me pull that up. And then I'll get back to that, Lisa. Um, so obviously Cody and Derek, Marcus, and all of them, Lawrence, and just everybody that talks about Colts football on YouTube. That made me go, okay. I think people will watch fans talk about their favorite teams. So I think that was definitely part of it. And then it was like a bunch of other channels, some of the movie channels, and some of the more podcaster people, like Rich Review Tech USA. Um, he was somebody that kind of made me go, okay, this could be fun. So Derek and Cody definitely played a factor into it. And then I just think I wanted to start earlier than I did. I wanted to start actually before Carson Wentz joined the Colts, but I just didn't do it. But when Ty re-signed last year, that made me go, okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. So yeah. And then Moisa Chaudhry. I hope I said your name right. He said, "Sup, man? How you doing, man?" And then Lisa says, "Matt, keep up the good work. Your program continues to grow and get better and better." I really do appreciate that, Lisa. I do have a lot to learn for sure. Um, I can definitely get better in some things, and I'm definitely trying to. And I'm gonna try to spice it up a little bit. I don't want Inside the Horseshoe to be the exact same as other channels. Although, like, Bring the Juice obviously is great, and Lawrence does a great job, and Marcus does a great job. Blue Stable does a great job. I mean, a lot of people do a great job. JDW does a good job, or a great job too. Um, I want to do something a little bit different, That way everybody's not watching the same, thing twice. So, yeah, I definitely got some to learn. I'm gonna get better. I definitely feel like I'm gonna get better for sure. And then Moise Chaudhry also says, "Good to see you. It's good to see you too." In the chat, he also says, "I believe the Colts can get to the Super Bowl." I think they can. It's just tough. AFC's loaded. You got to get through the Chargers, Kansas City, Denver, the Browns, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bills. I mean, it's a lot of teams. Um, so it's gonna be tough. I think they can for sure, but it's gonna be difficult for sure. It's a super talented division, or conference. But I like that. I like that it's gonna be a challenge. And then Colts Blood says favorite Colts player of all time. Um, Peyton Manning for sure is he's got to be my favorite. But if I'm not gonna count Peyton Manning, I will probably say um I'll go Reggie. Um, I'll say Reggie Wayne. That's who I'll go with. And then Moist Chaudhry says, "I hope to see them win, but I don't know too." Yeah, I really do hope they're gonna win. It'd be fun to really just get into a lot of the Colt stuff, and if they're gonna get to the Super Bowl, it'd be fun to cover that. So I really do hope. I would love to see him win another Super Bowl. I love to see Matt Ryan get a Super Bowl. And then Moisel says, "Matty Ice jersey representative profile picture." Yep, I love that jersey. Um, it's going to save people a lot of money that had Carson Wentz jerseys. All you have to do is get the lettering for Ryan and stitch that in. And then Moist Chaudhry says, "I enjoy watching videos. I look forward to always watching your videos, Colts fan." I really do appreciate that. I have a lot of fun making it. I took a few days off. Um, just I've been uploading pretty much every day for like a month or two, and just with Memorial Day and a lot of stuff going on around the house, I just figured, let's take a couple days off and then we'll get back to videos this week for sure. And then y'all said name perfectly said. I'm kind of shocked because I always screw up a lot of names. And then Storm Pig, how you doing? Says, "I have the same R2D2 humidifier in my room." It is not a humidifier. It's just I'll grab him. He's a if I can grab it. There we go. He's just like a regular, I don't know, toy. Say I went with family to a antique place and they had it there, so I had to buy it. I think it was like $10. So definitely had to get that. But I really do love it. And Colts Blood says, "What show's better, Boba Fett or Mandalorian? LOL. And do you want to interview any Colts players?" I think Mandalorian is better. I think it's just a better show all around. I think Boba Fett was good, but there were some things I wish that could have been different. The Vespa biker gang, wasn't too good. The Vespa Fest or Vespa's best, whatever. I don't know, but that was not a fun episode. Episode 3, seeing Luke again was really cool, and just how they improved the way he looked compared to season 2 Mandalorian. Pretty crazy. Looked quite real. I mean, you could tell eventually that he wasn't Mark Hamill younger, but that was cool. But still, I go Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian's just the better written show. And then, do I want to interview any Colts players? Yes. Now, thanks to Cody and Derek, I did get to interview Frank Reich twice. I was part of the fan YouTube Q&A thing that they do from time to time with people that have YouTube channels and some of the smaller websites and whatnot. So that was cool. But yeah, I would love to interview like Darius Leonard. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Um, I would like to interview obviously Ty. I would love to interview Ty Hilton. Just a lot. Matt Ryan would be cool to interview. Rodrigo Blankenship. I feel like we would really have a lot of fun. I don't even know if we would talk about football, if I'm going to be completely honest, because we like a lot of the same things. So we might get into like Star Wars and Legos and whatnot. But yeah, I would love to. I hope we do, or I hope I do, eventually. That'd be pretty cool. And then Justin says, "I can't wait to play. I can't play defense in Madden to save my life. I just let Sam Darnold throw 400 yards and 5 touchdowns on me. That is that. Look, if Sam Darnold is doing that, just know Madden screwed up. It's not on you. But no, I always just stick with one guy on the defensive line, try to get to the quarterback, and then usually the AI for the other players, it will kind of do its thing, and you know, stick with the players that they're supposed to guard, and then Gore or Gardaki Playground RB says for the shoe, absolutely, definitely for the shoe. And Colts Blood says thoughts on the Pat McAfee show. That's our player. I love it. I really do enjoy it. I really do hope that Amazon thing is true, where he's going to be able to do the Manning cast, but the McAfee cast. Um, I really do hope he gets to do that on Amazon. It'd be fun just to have like an unfiltered um, part of the stream on Amazon if they can even do that. That'd be a lot of fun to watch for sure. So I really do hope he gets that. But I love him. He's funny. I agree with him a lot too. Obviously, he really does hype up the Colts, which is nice because a lot of people in media aren't doing that. They did a little bit when Stephon Gilmore got there and Matt Ryan, but they calmed down. And they haven't really talked about the Colts like they do with everybody else, like the Lions and the Jets. But yeah, I really do love Pat McAfee. I think he has a great show. And then Colts Blood also says Xbox player add me Colts Blood YouTube. I might do that. I might do that. I might add you. And then Mike Muma, hey, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day, good Memorial Day weekend. Will they bring back T.Y. Hilton? I hope so. I really, really do. Moise also asked Ty. I I think they want him back, but again, it comes down to the money. How much money does Ty want? Does he want to have? Does he want to have? I guess more money than what the Colts are willing to offer. I don't know. If that's really the problem, though, I do think Ty will eventually resign for less money because if he really wants to play, he'll play for the minimum if he wants to play. Because I don't think any team's really going to offer him more than what the Colts are offering, or at least what he wants. Because if that was the case, he would have been offered already. So, um, if they bring him back, maybe June, July. But if he's not signed in August, then I wouldn't count on it, unfortunately. And then Moisel says no PlayStation. I do have a PlayStation. I have my PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X over there. I just have more family and friends that have Xboxes. So I bought Madden for the Xbox. Do I have it on PlayStation as well? I don't know. I have NBA 2K. Yeah, I don't have Madden on PlayStation. I have it on Xbox only, but I do have NBA on PlayStation. And then Moy says, "Can I add you?" Sure. Comment your username, and then when I get off, before I go to bed, I'll add you, and I'll also add Colts Blood on Xbox as well, and then we can play some Madden. So yeah, just comment your thingy, and I'll make sure that I'll make sure to write it down. And then Colts Blood says, I don't think Ty will be back, in my opinion. Sad, but hopefully he will. I think it's honestly 50-50. I think they both want to get a deal done. It's just, again, can they agree on the money? but I don't know. Maybe in training camp, all the receivers will look really, really good, and then they'll be like, okay, I guess we don't have to bring Ty back. Now there was an interview though I should mention on YouTube. Lawrence put it up on his Twitter. Let me, I'll look it up for you guys real quick. But in this interview that Chris Ballard did, he did mention, or it did seem like they weren't like worried about bringing Ty back because Reggie, he mentioned Reggie Wayne's veteran presence. So I'll try to find the video really quick. But yeah, I just can't remember the channel. Actually, let me look up Chris Ballard interviews. Um, Ballard interview. Here it is. Okay, so it's on the Anvil. That's the account name. They had Chris Ballard on, and they interviewed him there, and they did mention some about a veteran receiver, and he didn't seem like he was too worried about it. And then Colts Blood says, "Do you think we need a veteran receiver?" I think it'd be good, especially in big moments. You know, it'd be good to have guys who have that experience. You know, a couple guys. Obviously, Michael Pittman has experience playing in big moments. And of course T.Y. Hilton, but like Alec Pierce, at least in the NFL, he doesn't have the biggest, or the most experience, I should say. And then like Paris Campbell didn't play a whole lot, obviously. Um, and then obviously like Mike Strawn and Desmond Patman, guys like that, Doolin haven't really played in big moments. So I think it'd be good to bring back a veteran receiver for, you know, things like that. Um, and then Colts Blood says, have you been watching the USFL? I started to watch the USFL, but I really just kind of fell off of it after the second week. I love football, but it's not really working for me, in my opinion. But um, I know a lot of people are enjoying it, and it does look like it's probably coming back for another season, which is good for them. I'm more curious about the XFL, though. I do want to see how they do it this year with The Rock and, the new ownership. And then, in your opinion, who is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL? Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. Maybe Deshaun Watson, just because it's been like a year since he's played. But again, I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. So I don't really know if I would say he's overrated if I think he's going to be top 10. Maybe Kyler Murray. I'll go Kyler Murray as the most overrated. I just don't think he's done enough to earn like top 10, worthy conversations. So I probably say Kyler. Um, if I had to throw one out there. And then Moise says is PlayStation stuff. I will add you after I do the stream. I think I'm going to watch an episode of Ted Lasso, and then I'll add you after I do that. And then Dunkmaster XXL is here. How you doing? It says, I am here. House of Colts. Yes, sir. I'm glad you could be here. And then Colts Blood says, is there a chance the Colts could miss the playoffs? I think slim. Very slim. I think the quarterback problem has been fixed. And I don't think Wentz is a bad quarterback, but I want consistency, and I think that's what Matt Ryan brings in a good way. Pass rush is going to be improved. The things we needed to improve, we improved on. So, I mean, we were a 9-win team last year. I think we'll get in. I think we're going to win the division. I feel like Tennessee got worse. I don't think Jacksonville's there yet. Same with Houston. So, I think we're going to win the division by at least 2 games. I think we're having a 2-game lead when it's all said and done. But yeah, I guess there's a slim chance. Then Idris, he says, Colts apparently have no intentions on dealing with Kenny's contract. Do you think we trade him? No. And so with Kenny Moore, OTAs, they're voluntary. It's not, like I said, it's not like he missed training camp and he's sitting out. And he's still at the facility. It's not like he's sitting at home. He's still there. He's talking with the coaches. I think that was his way of saying, hey, you know, I'm not going to participate in the voluntary stuff. I'll still participate when it comes to mandatory, but just let you know right now, I do want that contract extension. I want to get something done. If nothing gets done before, training camp next year, then I'm going to sit out. So I, I'm not too worried about it. I wouldn't trade him. He's still the best slot corner in the NFL. So um, I wouldn't do that. And then Jameson Winston. Yes, I do like James Winston. Oh, you're saying he's overrated. I, I don't know. He played quite well last year. Before his injury, I thought anyway. And then who's better? Colts Blood says Matt Ryan or Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna go Matt Ryan, but I do think Kirk Cousins is getting a little bit too much hate when he's being brought up. I still think he's a good quarterback. He's a top 15 quarterback, but I think Matt Ryan's still better if I had to throw out an option. And then Dunkmaster XXL says we're favorites and the Titans are going to fall apart this year. I think so. I think the Titans are going to take a big step back. I think Derrick Henry is still going to be good, but I do think he's going to take a step back compared to the previous seasons. I mean, his yards per carry has gone down last year before his injury. It was down by over a yard. So, yeah, I think Derrick Henry, he's going to take another step back. I mean, they use him so much, it's going to happen eventually, right? I think it happens this year, and I just don't think Ryan Tannehill is a good quarterback. I think Ryan Tannehill will play well for you a couple games, but if you're going to, you know, if you're going to go with him as your starter and hope that he's going to get you to Super Bowl, that's just not going to happen at all. I think that's why they took Malik Willis, but I think Malik Willis is probably a few years before he's going to be ready. And then our fight is with Buffalo. I think definitely Buffalo. I still think Kansas City is going to be a threat. I know Tyreek Hill's gone, but I mean, he's still Patrick Mahomes. And then the Chargers. We'll see what the Chargers do with a lot of the pieces they added. I think they could definitely be um, somebody to worry about a little bit. But yeah, I definitely agree. Buffalo's they're the number one team in the AFC. And then Colts Blood says, "Do you think the Colts will start out slow, like always?" No, I. Luckily, our first two games are easier than what it's been in the past. We should beat Houston and we should beat Jacksonville this year. So I don't think it's going to be a slow start for us. I do think there might be like a couple weeks where we do struggle a little bit, but we're playing some really good teams this year too. But um, no, I don't think we're going to start out slow. And then Duckmaster says we never trade Kenny Moore. Look at how vital he is overall. I agree. And some people brought up the final two games of the year, saying, "Oh, he struggled," but look at the other games. He did quite well, and the entire team stunk the last 2 weeks. So, um, there's that. And then Justin says best backup quarterback of all time. Ah, wow. I mean, there's multiple options. Nick Foles is an option, as Dunkmaster brought up. He's somebody you can maybe throw in there, just with him being able to come in and win a Super Bowl. Got him. Frank Reich is another guy. That was a real good backup. For a little bit, Tom Brady was a backup. He was a pretty good backup. I don't know. That's really tough. As far as all time, anyway. I'm I might go Riker, maybe Nick Foles. It just kind of going off the top of my head right now. Um, Both did quite well as backups. Um, and then most improved Colts player in 2022 will be um Mo Alley Cox. I think he's gonna be most improved. I think he's gonna have a big year. And then Dunkmaster says Nick Foles, best backup. Brissett wasn't bad. I like Fitz. Yeah, Fitz Magic is another good option too. Um, I would have been happy, honestly, if we signed him as our backup quarterback instead of Nick Foles. Let's say the Bears would have kept Nick Foles. I would have been perfectly okay with Ryan Fitzpatrick being our guy as the backup anyway. And then Colts Blood says we better blow out the Jags. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think we win. Jags, I think, improved enough to where it won't be a blowout. I still think they're going to be pretty good, but yeah, I still think the Colts are definitely ahead of them, and they should win. And then Colts Blood says Tom Brady when Drew Bledsoe went down. Yeah, um, yeah, Tom Brady for sure. But then he became the starter. And then yeah, I don't like saying it either, but when Bledsoe was in there, he definitely was the best backup, for sure, if you want to count him. And then how good do you think Granson will be this year? I think he'll be pretty good. He's obviously not going to start. Um, I guess it depends on if Woods is better than Granson right away. If he is, then obviously Granson's not going to play as much. But I think Granson, when he goes in there, he's going to do well. Yeah, I think he'll be solid this year. And then Dunk Master says, "Oh, Fitzmagic. Oh yeah, I do love me some Fitzmagic. Um, I really do like it." And then Dunk Master says, "I think Jelani Woods passes up Granson." Um, I agree. I think it's going to happen eventually, but still, I think you're going to see all three be used. I think Ranson's going to be used in certain situations. So, and then Marvell Tell could be a sneaky good player. I hope so. I had some hope for him. I was confident in him, especially after his first year. But something happened this past season. I got him cut initially, and then now he's back. So maybe they think he has something to offer, and I hope he does, because I do like Marvell Tell. I'm rooting for him, and I'm rooting for Ben Banigou as well. I think Ben Banigou's gotta go out there and play well. If he doesn't have a good year, they're gonna cut him, but I think he's gonna get some opportunities. But we'll see. And then Dunkmaster says, "How good is Nick Cross gonna be with getting some experience under Gilmore?" I think he's gonna be good. I think he's going to be a good player. I think this year he might come off the bench, but I do think, especially when Kari Willis's contract expires, if they're very confident in Nick Cross, like it seems like they are, they're going to roll with Nick Cross, and they might just let Kari Willis go. Which let me look up actually when his contract expires. Really quick, we'll pull that up. So this according to Spot Track. Yes, this is Kari Willis's last year. So if Nick Cross looks really good this year and looks like he could be starting at strong safety, then I think they're going to move on from Willis and they're going to move forward with Nick Cross. So, but I think he's going to be good. Some rookie struggles probably, but I think he'll play well. And then also, how well is Alec Pierce learning from Reggie Wayne? It seems like he's learning um, pretty well, or quite a bit, I should say. They're saying at times he's looked dominant in OTAs and um, I guess some of the rookie mini camps. So, um, you know, I uh, I think he's learning for sure. I'm really excited to see him in training camp though with the other guys and seeing what he does. And obviously preseason, the Buffalo game will be one game I'm looking forward to in the preseason. And then Alex Castillo says, "Glad to finally catch one of your live streams. Like your takes more than BGJ." I love those guys, man. I really do like them. Um, yeah, I mean Derek and Cody. I mean they definitely helped me a lot on YouTube. So I'm always going to be grateful for them, for sure. But yeah, I'll make sure to brag to Derek. But now and then Colts Blood says, "Do you remember Mateus? I can't. I know who you're talking about. Farley. I really like him. Also Pierre Desir. I I really look. Yeah, I do remember Farley. Obviously, he went to Notre Dame. I watched him there. I thought it was pretty cool when the Colts got him. But yeah, I do remember him, and I did like Pierre this year as well, and I liked Farley. I thought Farley was pretty solid. Definitely not a starter, but I thought he was solid. And then favorite rookie quarterback this year. Um, so I don't think Ritter's going to play this year. I don't think Sam Howell is going to play this year unless Carson Wentz is out for a game. I don't think you're going to see Howell. Heck, you might not even see Howell. They might roll with somebody else. Um, you got Kenny Pickett, obviously. Matt Corral. I can't remember where he went. Did he go to Carolina? That kind of sounds familiar. Um, yeah, I think Kenny Pickett is probably gonna be the best, but I do like Desmond Ritter. I really do like him a lot. So we'll see for sure. And then Dunkmaster says our defense has so many less holes now. I just hope Gus Bradley calls as well as Eberflus. I do too. I know a lot of people gave Eberflus some flack this year when we were giving up leads, but like Eberflus was still a good defensive coordinator. I think Gus Bradley is going to do well though. I think the defense is going to have just a new energy with the new system that's being brought in. I think you're going to see um, these guys play really well. So, um, but yeah, there really isn't many holes. I guess maybe some depth, but yeah, I don't think there's really any holes if you ask me. And then Colts Blood says, can the Colts draft a QB next year? I hope they do. I really do hope they trade up and they take either Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, um, I think it's Xavier Ward, Washington State's quarterback, but Ward is somebody I would be perfectly fine with. Um, One that kind of interests me that I think would be a good developmental type quarterback, somebody you can develop while Matt Ryan's here, is Phil Dracovic. I was really upset that he didn't play at Notre Dame because Brian Kelly doesn't understand quarterbacks, it feels like. But yeah, I think Phil Dracovic is going to really fly up a lot of draft boards. Um, I think he has a lot of potential to be a really good quarterback. Super mobile, got a really good arm, a rocket for an arm. Good accuracy. So I'm really looking forward to watching some Boston College just to watch him play. And I would be happy if we took him as a quarterback as well. So there's multiple options, but yeah, I do think we will probably end up taking a quarterback next year in the first round instead of the second round, or fifth round, I should say. And then Howell might be the guy. Dunkmaster says, I don't think so. I still think Carson Wentz is the guy. And even if it's not Carson Wentz, I think Heineke might come in over Sam Howell. But I mean, look, man, you have talent for Sam Howell. Sam Howell did well at North Carolina when he had talent, so maybe. And then at what point do we say Hurricane Dio was a bust, is what Dunkmaster says. Look, I mean, he was coming back from a pretty bad injury. You know what I mean? No, I think we got to give him another year at least. Now he's healthy, but yeah, let's give him another year before we start wondering if he's a bust. I think we're going to see some good things this year from him. It's a good depth piece, I think. And then Colts Blood says, nice to stop by for a minute. Also love watching your stuff, man. Let's go. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching game 7. I'm pretty excited. I actually have to get off in like probably 10, 15 minutes. So I'm going to watch Ted Lasso with the family. But yeah, I might check in on the score for the Heat game. I'll actually check that in just a second. But yeah, thank you for stopping by, man. And then Dunkmaster says we're gonna have to give up talent plus picks in order to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it too. But honestly, I think there's 4 quarterbacks that you can bring in and have them develop, and I think they can become, starting quarterbacks for your team. Like I said, Phil Jakovic is a guy I would be perfectly happy with. He does a lot. I think that the Colts would like him to do. Um, like I said, mobile, really good arm, got a rocket. I'd be cool with him. Watch out for, I think it's Xavier Ward. He transferred to Washington State this year. Watch out for him. I think he's going to be at least one of the top 3 quarterbacks. He might even pop up into the top 2. Like some of the recruiting people have been saying he's a generational talent. But then of course Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, those are 2 guys I definitely would like to get to. But I do think you have to trade into the top 10. Like you have to do it, and I'd be okay giving up multiple draft picks. I'd be okay giving up 2, 3 first round picks if we need to, because there's really no other positions we need to address right now. So we'll do that. And then Troy has some football emojis. How you doing, Troy? And then Dunkmaster says, sad to say, but eventually on top of QB, we need to upgrade from Zaire Franklin, and I like him and Dio. I think Zaire Franklin was starting to really I think he was starting to play really well, and then he had that injury, unfortunately, in the Titans game. But I do agree. He's going to have to play well this year again. If he doesn't, then we're going to have to upgrade and move on from him. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We might have to. And like I said, let's give Dio another year. I think Dio's going to surprise some people. He's going to be a good depth piece, I think. And then Alex Castillo says, I see us definitely trading up. Yeah, I think you have to at this point, right? Like I said, you got pretty much every position figured out. I think you got to get that future quarterback. So I I think I'd trade up. I think you just have to. And then Troy says Chris Ballard has the perfect plan. We'll use Matt Ryan for 3 years. The fourth year, we'll go 1-15 and then draft Arch Manning, and we're set for another 20 years. Um, that'd be kind of funny to get Arch Manning here because obviously Peyton Manning. Be fun to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. But I don't know, man. I don't want to see us tank for Arch. I mean, I understand getting Arch here would be cool, but let's see what Arch does in college. There's been a ton of examples where the number one quarterback or number two quarterback in a draft class or in a recruiting class goes into college and doesn't play as well. So let's see what Arch does. Arch might not even be the best quarterback in his I keep saying draft class in his recruiting class. I think Dante Moore and then the guy that I believe went to USC. I think he was number two. They might be better, especially Dante Moore. But I think Arch is going to be good. But I wouldn't tank. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. I don't think the players want to tank for Arch. But I don't know. Maybe just sell the house and trade up to get Arch. And then Dunkmaster says, I like him, Franklin, but we could have a star next to the Maniac. I think we have one in the making. I think Okereke is one in the making. Okereke, I think he's going to play really, really good this year. So I would watch out for him, but I understand. I definitely understand. Maybe I guess it depends. If we do end up trading up for a quarterback, then obviously you can't do this. But what if we draft Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame? Um, I think that's something, and have him play for Zaire. Foskey's really good too, but he's probably be a top 10 pick. And then Dunkmaster says, let's find the best dang generational quarterback or a talent quarterback and throw the house at it. That's how we dominate. Yeah, that's what we got to do. If we have to, if we have to give up a ton of picks, like multiple first round picks, multiple second round picks, a player or two, got to do it. I think this team is ready. I think the team is ready to really compete and kind of get back to the Manning days. So you got to get that QB. And then just says, time for me to go. See you, Matt. Had a blast. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Had a lot of fun seeing you hang out in the stream. And then Alex says, I have a feeling Quiddy is going to explode this season. Came on strong late last season, and him moving to the other side fits his game more. I agree. I think Quiddy Pay is going to have a big year. That's somebody I'm really, really confident in. And then, the Notre Dame linebacker. Yes. I love Foskey. I really, really do love Foskey. But I feel like Foskey might be a top 10 pick this year because Foskey's really good. He's for whatever reason projected to go toward the end of the first round. If that happens, I hope we can get that quarterback and Foskey. I'll say that. And then Dunkmaster says, I was lobbying hard for Quiddy last year. Still going to die on that hill, unfortunately. I'm with you. I'm definitely with you for sure. I am. I'm going to be on that hill until Quiddy doesn't show me any confidence. Yeah. Or I should say, unless Quiddy shows me that he's not going to be that guy, I'm going to be right there with you on that hill. And then Steven Jesco, how you doing? Glad to see you here. He says, I think Paris Campbell is going to make a huge comeback this year, especially with amazing quarterback in Matt Ryan. I agree. I think Paris Campbell is going to have I think he's going to have a comeback here in the sense of he's going to stay healthy, and I think he's probably going to rack up like 400 to 500 yards, maybe a little more. just because of how explosive he is. I think Michael Pittman's going to get of the, most of the yards out of all the receivers. He's going to get probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 yards, depending on how much we pass. And then I think Paris Campbell and Pierce are going to be battling for whoever has the second most yards this year, assuming that I'm right in Paris Campbell staying healthy for most of the year. All right. So I'm going to hop off in a minute. So if there's any other things you guys want to bring up, I'll address those, and then I do have to hop off. So I've been going for about an hour. When we do streams, it'll probably be about an hour, maybe a little more is what we'll do. But yeah, and then pregame will probably be a little less than this. That way I have 15 minutes to, get ready for Bring the Juice and their pregame stream. And then Steven also says he has to be our number 2. I think he's going to start out as the number 2, but it's really going to come down to how does Alec Pierce play this year and how does Paris Campbell play this year. If Paris Campbell plays well, but Alec Pierce plays better, obviously Alec Pierce is your number 2, but I do think at the start of the season he is the number 2 guy, and he'll probably be the number 2 option. And then Dunkmaster says he's got Yannick and Mathis teaching him, Quiddy and Dio. They should be way better. Lewis and Paris will do well. I agree. I definitely agree. I think Dio is going to have a good year this year. Obviously, he's not going to start. He's going to come off the bench, but yeah. I definitely agree with you. And then Dunkmaster says, Bring the Juice old intro is one of the greatest things on YouTube. Don't let that go unsaid, please. Yeah, I do like their old intro as well. I was watching some of their older stuff just to kind of, see what they did in the off season and kind of look at their stuff, look at Lawrence's stuff in the past, and kind of go, okay, here's some ideas. Is there any that are going to inspire me to make a video similar to that? And then kind of go from there. And yeah, their old intro is pretty cool. I like both intros though. I think they have 2 good intros. I like the new one that you see on the videos all the time, and then obviously, the classic that one, I like that a lot. But all right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. We've been live for a little over an hour, so I did have a lot of fun. Definitely enjoy this. I'm gonna try to do another next week. I might do it this Saturday. I might go live this Saturday around the same time, 8:00. But yeah, I'm gonna go live more often. I'm gonna try to do once a week. There will be some weeks where I can't go live because we got a bachelor weekend coming up in September, and then got a wedding to attend. Not September, sorry, October. And we got a wedding. Yeah, no, sorry. Bachelor weekend is at the end of September, and then October, and I think I'm going to a game or 2 this year. So, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll bring up Dunkmaster's last 2 comments real quick. He says, I play their videos from my Dodge, hard base. That's the way to do it. And then Dunkmaster says, cheers. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by. If you're new, if you haven't already, would greatly appreciate if you would click the subscribe button, click that notification bell. That way, when I do live streams, you guys are notified. And when I upload videos, you guys are notified. And for the ones watching later, make sure to like it. And also, you guys, like the stream if you want. And comment below to the people watching this after the fact. Give me your thoughts on some of the things we talked about today. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There's a link in the description below. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I've been Matt, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click subscribe.